Hey everyone, and welcome to WUDuP, our new vodcast here on the YouTube channel. I'm David Cross, your host as always, and alongside me I have Brennen McCall and Matthew Schinkel.
Yo.
Hi guys.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. A lot less stress than it was last semester, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's going a lot easier. I mean, I do have like 5 less credits, so...
Yeah, that definitely helps.
Yes, big thing. So, Schinkel and I were in the closed beta for a video game, and you didn't know anything about it, so you looked it up.
Yeah. For Honor is coming out soon. It's a game that I guess I would enjoy because I like those medieval style games. So when I saw it come out, I saw the trailer. It looked really interesting, and I've seen some gameplay on it. I haven't seen you guys play it yet. You will soon, but
Tomorrow.
yeah.
As in, like, this will hopefully come out tomorrow, and then that will come out the day after. So we shoot on Wednesdays, so Friday. Yeah, so For Honor is a melee action game that pits samurai versus Vikings versus knights. I had a fun time playing in the closed beta. You seem to enjoy it.
It was a good time. I don't really pay attention that much to the video game community that much anymore as I used to early college and then all throughout high school. But I did recognize it. As soon as we got to the 4v4, that is something that I saw like in commercials and stuff like that. I definitely enjoyed that aspect of it the most because it's like a huge, like you're in the middle of a war between these two things. It was pretty interesting. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I liked it. It is a little gruesome. Like, we had settings turned down for our playthrough, but with them on, which is what I played with, it was something. There's like dismemberments and things.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's there. So, not for children, but it's a good game.
That's it. Just good. What did you like about it, or?
We only really got to play the multiplayer because it's the beta. I feel like the whole campaign concept is going to turn out really well. The fighting style is pretty interesting. It's not a game though that like right now anybody can pick it up, play it for a little bit, and have fun with it. But like if you're the kind of person that buys a game, plays it for a while, and then lets it sit there for 3 months, and then decides like, oh, you know, maybe I'll pick this up again and play it. I had fun. You're gonna get destroyed by all the people who have been playing for the past 3 months because just like the general skill level and the things that you're gonna have to do to fight and be good at it are a lot more practice intensive than.
Yeah, from what I can tell from some of the gameplay that I've seen already, if you're the first one who lands the first hit, it kind of throws your opponent off, and you can continue to add more and more hits. And then by the time you can kind of counter from it, your health level is already down to a certain point where you can't really come back from that. So, for what I could tell, it seemed like the most critical part of the fighting mechanics is you have to hit first.
Not necessarily. It does give you a huge advantage, especially depending on how you hit. Like they have light attack and heavy attack. And then you can do like a charge attack or like a defense breaker. And then like even each, so there's 9 playable characters and each one has their own move set. And like all these combos you can use, like essentially once you start a combo, if you land the first hit, that you probably will land all of the combo. And those like that does a lot of damage. The one thing that we ran into was that some champions, for lack of a better term, can poison with their combos, which comes up like your health bar is white, and then like when you take damage it turns like a dull red and then disappears. And when you're poisoned, there's a bright red bar, and the bright red part slowly disappears over the time of the poison. So if you're in a fight and you've poisoned someone and all of a sudden you see like the rest of their bar is bright red, you can just turn around and run away and like go do something else because they'll die. Yeah, like don't even have to worry about it. There's no way to stop it or anything.
Interesting.
Yeah, but the blocking mechanic is difficult at times. Because you have to either devote to offense or devote to blocking. And, like, if someone lands the first hit on you, you can't try to attack back until you block at the end of one of their combos.
Okay.
Because...
So it's about timing and...
Yeah, like, there is a space between combo strikes that you have to counterattack, and it especially helps if you block before that. And blocking, like, you can attack from the left, the right, or above, and blocking, you can block left, right, or above, and you basically have to match where their attack is coming from. And there's little indicators that you can apparently turn off if you're feeling gutsy, but I wouldn't do that. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say that Dave was a lot better at the game than I was.
Or at least pay attention a lot more.
Easily, yeah. Like, that would have been a cool game. That would have seemed like a game right down my alley, because I like the strategic component of video games in that sense, but I got destroyed.
Yeah.
Completely in that game.
Yeah, I think, like, I had the advantage of playing before we played.
Mhm.
I got matched against some person who wasn't very good at video games in my first game, so I did really well. But I did end up playing, when I played by myself, against a guy who was obviously, like, really hardcore into this game already, and he absolutely annihilated me. Like, could not land a hit, could not do anything, and he would actually, so I played against this guy in 2v2s. If I was against him, I would basically just try to last as long as I could and like fight back, and I got close to killing him like twice, but he was just absurdly good.
Does the progress that you make in the beta, does that transfer over to the real game whenever it comes out, should you get it?
I am not 100% sure.
Because I knew in Battlefield 1 that same thing happened. I think during the whole beta session I made it to like rank 6 or 8 or something like that, and then once I ended up buying the game myself, and then once I started playing it, I'm like, oh, I'm already at level 6 or 8 or something, so that's good, you know, so I was just a little bit ahead of everybody else. Of course, everybody else passed me because I didn't play it a lot, but
yeah,
but that game's fun too.
Every game does it a little differently. There's a good chance, because we played against some people that were like really high levels. They could have been like people in like maybe the alpha.
There was like 16, 18 level people in that game.
Yeah, because, I mean, in my playing, I got to like, I was like, what, level 11 on the one character?
Yeah.
It was like 8-11. There's like 2 levels that you can get for each character, or
Which
like,
I still
or like
don't
a
understand.
faction. I think you have a faction level and then a character level. Because when you played a character from a different faction, and that's why it reset, I think.
Alright.
Yeah, but, and those like give you different advantages or whatever. And then you can like change your equipment and stuff, and like its appearance, and minimally, but like it makes like a difference. Like you can devote yourself to being defense heavy, or devote yourself to being attack heavy, and just be a glass cannon and have fun. But this is where I want to talk about glass cannons, because they're really fun to play, but you guys aren't into video games enough to even know what that means.
Nope.
Yeah, I was just like nodding my head. I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Same
Okay,
thing.
basically, if you don't know what a glass cannon is, think about it. Glass is really easy to destroy. Cannons hurt a lot. So, they're characters that deal a lot of damage, but can't take any in return. They are really fun to play, though. It's like basically an assassin.
So what would be the opposite of that called?
Attack.
Oh, never mind. I was like thinking of like opposite of glass, opposite of cannon, combine it.
Yeah.
A lead feather.
I love that analogy. I love it.
You know how the that makes me just think of Led Zeppelin. You know how they got their name? He was I wish I remember the
John Paul Jones? Because I know that's their drummer.
Is it? Well, whoever one of the main people in that band is, he was given the idea to a friend about what kind of like music that band would deal with, what genre they would want to enter. And one of their friends told them that would sync faster than a Led Zeppelin. So then they made their band name Led Zeppelin.
That's pretty sweet.
Which is pretty cool. I think
Yeah.
that's pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah.
I like the way people do things like that. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know where Pearl Jam gets her name from?
No.
One of the members of the band, they had a grandmother named Pearl, and she made really good jam. like jelly
You're
jam,
lying.
you know? Yeah.
You're lying.
I swear to God, I'm not lying.
So
That's actually really funny. You know how the Beatles got their name? They liked Beatles. No, I'm just kidding.
Probably.
now we're taking it too far.
That's actually really funny about Pearl Jam, though.
Oh yeah. It's really funny.
I didn't know that. What were you gonna say?
So in broadcast journalism this week, our professor handed us out this cliches in newscast paper or book pamphlet thing. I don't know.
Something.
It was a group of papers,
Sure.
and it was like, so and so was slain, and it was like the word slain, and it said dragons are slain, people are killed. Like it was basically just like, do not use cliches in your newscast and in your like writing for TV, because slain, dragons are slain, people are killed.
Yeah.
Under siege, like when it was like whenever the Israelites surrounded like some city, you could say that they were under siege, like, but like any political, economic, whatever thing, like having a hard time is not a siege. Like I don't know. It was funny to look at. We're gonna do a comedy skit with it that'll be out on the YouTube channel eventually. But there was a lot. There was a huge list. So
That's pretty cool.
I don't know. If you like puns, look out for that.
You're a big pun guy.
I'm a huge.
Especially on the mosh pit.
You hate me on the mosh pit.
Yeah. The puns, man. Every single break.
They just keep on
We
coming.
got 3 songs. Then we go to a break. Before we get done that break, Dave makes it a point to get a pun from the title or band name of each 3 of those songs coming up. Every single time.
That's cool.
It was enjoyable.
I was slacking
At a time.
last week. Was it this week? This week I was slacking hard.
Yeah.
I got to like one point where I really like made a bunch, but prior to that, like the whole first half of the show, I got nothing. There's nothing. There are no puns.
Can you believe we've been doing that show for 2 years almost?
I can. It's been a great time.
That is the longest job of my life.
This is the longest job of my life. Well, like WCTV. I've been the news director for almost 2 years now. Getting up there. This is why I have to like train people to like take over for me, because I've been doing it for so long that not many other people know how.
I did landscaping for 3 summers, so I guess that was. I don't know if that's considered longest in time, but I guess it's like.
Did it with the same company.
Yes, the same sole proprietor.
Mm-hmm.
He was also my soccer coach at one point in time.
I pumped gas for a summer. New Jersey, we're not
Yeah.
allowed to pump our own gas. That's a great job.
Pumping gas.
Yeah. It's so easy.
How much you get paid?
Yes. I was paid.
Must have been pretty good.
What did I get paid?
Yes, I was paid.
I think just like...
In fact, when you work at a job and you are an employee, you do get paid.
I think $9.50 or 10 an hour.
All right.
Ridiculous.
Were you able to get free gas?
No. I got that question so much. I worked...
Because that would be awesome. Like if you're a gas pumper, you know, they'll give you free gas for your car.
I worked at Wawa. So for people here that have never been in New Jersey or Eastern Pennsylvania, it's Sheetz basically, but Wawa's better. So I didn't get anything related to gas off. I didn't get anything free. I got 50% off the healthy food section while I was on the clock.
Nobody eats. Oh.
Yeah.
On the clock. What?
And then I only got free drinks while I was on the clock. I didn't get anything if
Well, the
I was
drinks
just
is
like
okay.
coming in.
Drinks or something.
Now, as someone who thinks that eating healthy is very important, I think that's a great deal.
Yeah, you definitely eat healthy.
I do.
But see,
I cook for myself all the time.
yeah, but see, on the clock though, It means if you have to go get food while you're on the clock, I feel like people would look down upon it as far as your bosses are.
Well, we could do it like on breaks and stuff. So we couldn't go in and we couldn't run in and get food all the time. But if we needed so during the winter, hard times during then, we get unlimited coffee, which works out really nice. So we can just tell anybody in there, hey, can you bring us out 3 coffees for the 3 guys on? And if we want to do that 5 times during an 8-hour shift, they have to do it. So we just get unlimited coffee. And then during the summer, free Cokes, free waters, stuff like that. It worked out really
It's pretty
well.
clutch if you ask me.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really liked doing it. It wasn't hard at all. You get to
Yeah,
work on your
can
people
imagine.
skills, meet a lot of people, a lot of crazy people. People, you know how antsy people are when they're in their car waiting to get their gas pumped for them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because whenever you're not doing something, all you're doing is just sitting there wanting to get to your next destination.
God forbid you go out of order one time. Because if you get there to get your gas pumped and then someone comes in behind you and the gas attendant helps the person behind you first, oh,
Ooh.
what an insult. That happened so much. Because when I would pump gas, I didn't think I'd be talking about this today. When I would pump gas, I would do a square because there's 4 pumps. Well, there's 6 pumps, but it's on each side. So there's 12 stations altogether. I would just run a square because there's 3 people. So you have 4 pumps to yourself. I would just run a square the whole time. And if I'm running a square and then somebody comes in over here and then somebody else comes in over here and I'm going this way, which that doesn't help any of these people, I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
I'll keep going in like a square. And if you don't follow that order, or if you go out of order in terms of like people getting there, everybody gets so ticked off.
You just have to be better.
I moved as fast as I could, my friend. Also, people tip. Gas attendants.
That's actually pretty nice.
Would have never thought that. I think the most I got in a day was $30,
Wow.
which I would have never expected. People get up to 100 on during Christmas time.
So I washed dishes in high school, and I never worked restaurant hours because they didn't need me for that. I worked the events where they had like 100 people come in for like buffet stuff, and it drove me insane. But because it wasn't a restaurant thing, like I got paid minimum wage and didn't make tips. The one day, the owner just comes back and he was most likely inebriated, and he just goes, "You're awesome. Put that in your pocket," and just hands me a 20. I was like, okay. Then the
How awesome am I?
no,
How
then
old were you? How old were you at that point?
17.
All right, yeah, $20 helps a lot then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
17.
And then that same day, we had like a substitute cook or whatever. Like this cook came in to work the kitchen. It's the only time I ever saw him. He just walks back to me like, "Hey, you did a great job today." Hands me a 20, and I was like, "Oh, thanks." I never made a single tip at my job the entire like year and a half that I worked there.
Did they plan that?
I don't know. And in one night, I made $40 in tips from the owner for no reason and the cook for no reason. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, tips are great. Can this happen more often? Is that it? We're running out.
That was my Wawa story.
Yeah, I don't really have a Wawa story or.
I did have a guy.
I've never been to Wawa.
Wawa's great. I did have a guy pull a prank on me one day when he came up. He was wearing long pants, khakis, and a Green Bay Packers polo, and he had like sunglasses up, like on his head, like not over his eyes but on his head. So when he walked up, he like got out of his car. And I'm like, I got the Phillies PA announcer before. I've gotten Eagles trainers before. So when he came up, I was like in the back of my head, I'm like, this guy might be he might be affiliated with the Packers somehow. I'm not sure how. So as soon as I go up, I start pumping his gas, and he's like, I say, "Hey, I hope you don't mind me asking, but I see the polo, and you look a little professional. Are you with the Packers in any way?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm actually a part owner." I'm like, "Really? You're a part owner?" He's like, "Yeah, I own a little bit of the Packers." I'm like, "Wow, that's really cool." And I like walk away for a second, and gas gets pumped. I walk back over, put it back, and he's like, "I just want to go ahead and let you know that the Packers are owned by people that live in Green Bay, So I actually don't know anything. I don't know anything from the Packers.
It's just on a little bit of Packers.
Yeah. He's like, I own 1/1,000,000th of the Packers. But, sure, I'm an owner. That was, like, slightly embarrassing, but I loved the story.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah, that's I've talked about this on something. It may have been last week, but you can buy a square foot of land in Scotland, like literally a square foot, and you're a lord.
I'm gonna do
So
that.
if I bought a square foot of land in Scotland, I would be Lord David Cross because I am a landowner in Scotland.
I'm doing that now.
I want to do it.
How much
That's
is that
great. How much is it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Barbara got it for Aaron for Christmas.
What do you do if you
So
if
he's
you buy?
Lord Reverend Aaron.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
What do you do if you buy 2?
Well, you're still just a lord.
Oh, so
Yeah.
I didn't know if you bought like
Being-
an X amount of
No.
square feet. You
Being
like
a
you like an emperor or
landowner.
something. Okay.
Being a landowner in Scotland makes you a lord. I'm pretty sure it's Scotland. I
You know-
could be wrong.
You know you can buy parts of the moon, and you can own stars, which is ridiculous. My when I was younger, my parents bought me and my brother.
Yo, shout out to when like space exploration is a thing, and some guy bought a star, and it's like a whole galaxy, and he owns that whole galaxy, and everybody who lives there has to pay him his like great grandchildren tons of money to live there.
You got really into that.
No, that's great. Like, think about that. If you own a star, like as stupid as that is, if you own a star, technically you were sold land rights to that galaxy. And if we actually get to the point where we like have the whole space exploration thing, say there is a livable planet in that galaxy, you own that planet. You own an entire planet.
I mean,
What are the chances? I know, but still.
I mean, no. Like NASA's gonna shred that piece of paper if that ever happens, right? Like that's not gonna.
Oh hell, Lord Cross.
Yeah. Like that can't be. That's not gonna happen. Like come on, even in like
Buying a star. I'm looking up where the closest Goldilocks planet is. Buying that star.
well, stars are suns, right? So
Sometimes.
you won't be able to live there. Like assuming they don't.
That's true. Are you just getting the sun?
Yeah, I'm assuming that they don't
But
give you the whole
you
galaxy.
tax the heat it gives off, so the
Yeah.
life-giving heat energy that
How
comes
do you-
off of that star
Yeah.
on a livable
How
planet,
do
you
you-
then tax the planet for the heat that's coming from your star.
How in the world do you regulate that? Oh, actually no. That's doable because they would have to put solar panels on a planet near that, so that would work. Yeah. This is amazing. How much do you think the sun costs? Can I buy the sun?
No, I
Just walk
think
up.
I think
I'd
our
like to
sun
buy the
is
sun.
unbuyable.
Money is no object.
Our sun is unbuyable.
Our sun is
Literally,
unbuyable.
if anything, humanity has shown you can buy anything. It's possible.
You can buy a presidency too. And with that,
We're buying stars in other galaxies. People can we can buy land on the moon. That makes no sense.
Hey, we could terraform the moon one day. I want to buy land on Mars.
Do it.
There we go.
Yeah.
How much does it cost?
I would love to buy
I want one
part of the moon.
square acre on Mars.
The life of a meteor comes in, just goes, just takes out that little square.
Hey, you know what? I own the square meter under that in that
I
crater.
hope you have asteroid insurance, Dave, on your foot of land.
But no, not a foot.
You need
Not a
alien
square foot.
insurance
I
as
don't want a
well?
square foot. I want a square acre. Like I want to build a house there. So that even if we don't terraform Mars in my lifetime, if we do in my great grandkids' lifetime, they will already own a plot of land on Mars.
Telling you, NASA's just gonna shred that piece of paper when that happens. This is more fun to think about than it is like actual
If
execution.
you think once we leave all that stuff on Earth, you're going to go back to it.
That's another thing that really upsets me. I've thought about this for quite a while. You go ahead and assume that every single person you've ever known, everything you've ever learned about, and everything that ever will be.
You think about a lot of things while you're pumping gas, huh?
I do. It's a lot of long hours. You go ahead and assume everything you've ever learned, everything you've ever known, and anything that ever will be. It's like something in 800 million years. When the sun expands, all goes away. Albert Einstein, E equals MC squared, doesn't matter. Ken Griffey Jr., 6th all time in MLB home runs, doesn't matter. Because the MLB isn't a thing anymore.
Maybe it is.
It's not.
We as a
The
species.
Minions movie won't
No.
matter.
No.
Look, we
Any,
as a
any
species.
awards that they won, this video.
Actually, this video could still exist. You
It'll
never
mean
know.
this much.
We as a species are in a race for space exploration before sun expansion. Otherwise, it's all over.
It's a little bit of a snail race at the moment.
Yeah.
We've still got about 800 million years.
I mean, I
With
think
the sun, though, climate change is.
if you really think about it, how accurate is Halo? 500 years from now, we have
I don't know much about it.
capable space exploration. They basically just build a ship the size of like a small city and put a nuclear reactor in it, and that's what powers the engines.
Safe.
Well, 500
clean
years
energy.
from now, it will be safe.
It's clean energy.
Yeah, I mean, protective shielding.
Protective shield.
I mean, honestly, the
Radiation.
biggest problem, because we could do that, and like just hope we don't have like a random nuclear meltdown, which
I mean,
Probably
nuclear
would
power is extremely safe.
Yeah.
If done.
Safely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a word that I couldn't
Yeah.
use besides that. If done correctly.
like honestly, we could put a nuclear reactor on a giant ship. It would cost an enormous amount of money to make, but if we really had to like evacuate Earth, we could do it. Our biggest problem is traveling fast enough to get there to the point where we don't just like have an exodus of part of our civilization onto a ship that lives on that ship for hundreds and hundreds of years, literally just on that ship. Like they're gonna run out of resources.
It's
before
ridiculous the
anything
conversations we get into when we go into this without like a script
we
of things to talk about.
Yeah.
never, ever, ever have something to talk about when we sit at this desk.
There's zero
Probably
preparation.
shows.
Yeah. I mean, this is a pretty cool
Look
conversation.
at this
if you
deep
ask me.
philosophical discussion.
I know.
But yeah, we either need like cryogenic freezing and like an AI that takes the ship where we need it to go while we're all just sleeping there frozen for hundreds of years, or we need to be able to travel the speed of light, which is
Just watch the movie Passengers.
Is that the one with Chris Pratt and?
And
I was literally just thinking that, but I didn't remember the name.
I was
of it,
thinking
so
that the
didn't wanna
entire
say it.
time we were talking about the whole flying Star Lord things. So
I don't know.
oh, you could be Star Lord.
there you go.
Star Lord.
All right, is that a wrap?
Sure.
I
Yeah,
think that's
watch
a
it.
wrap.
I
That was a
know.
good one. All right, thanks for joining us on this edition of What Up. You can catch us next week when we do another edition. You can catch Matt and I in Play Along coming out hopefully tomorrow, because hopefully this is out on Thursday this week. And then there will be another Play Along out next week for Honor as well. Other than that, that's what's coming out on WUDP on YouTube right now. We'll let you know in later shows when we have more content coming up. Thanks for joining us.